Love is the beating heart of Sufism, infusing this mystical path with a profound and transformative force. Within the Sufi tradition, love is not merely an emotion or a romantic sentiment, but a spiritual force of cosmic significance. Love in Sufism inspires the mystic path by acting as the power of attraction that draws individuals closer to the divine. Through love, the Sufi seeks to transcend the ego, the sense of being a separate self, and instead become completely immersed in the divine presence. Love fosters the longing for union with God, and this yearning guides the Sufis' every thought, word, and action. In Sufism, love is not confined to a theoretical concept, but is a lived experience. It is through the depths of love that the Sufi endeavors to annihilate the self, surrendering to God entirely. This process, known as fana, involves the dissolution of the ego and the separation between the lover and the beloved. It is in this annihilation that the Sufi seeks to attain a state of divine union, where the self merges with God. The poetry of Sufi mystics, such as Rumi and Hafiz, beautifully expresses the ecstasy and longing of divine love. Their poetry offers a radiant glimpse into the love-intoxicated world of Sufi spirituality. In this video, we will explore Sufism's mystic path of love. We will begin by briefly looking at the history of Sufism. We will then look at the importance of love-infused poetry to the Sufi path, and how Sufism has influenced and been influenced by other religious traditions. Finally, we will offer a guided meditation based on the love-infused poetry of the mystic poet, Rumi. If you enjoy this video and would like to know more about Sufism and the importance of love to all spiritual paths, please check out a Sangaham online bookstore. There you will find curated book lists, not only on the subject of Sufism, but also on all types of spiritual topics. You can find the link to Asangaham books in the description to this video. Thanks. Sufism, the mystical and spiritual dimension of Islam, has a rich history that spans over a millennium. Sufism emerged within the context of early Islam, primarily during the 7th and 8th centuries. It was a response to the increasing institutionalization of Islamic practices and the desire to delve deeper into the inner dimensions of faith. The term Sufi is believed to have originated from the Arabic word suf, which means wool. Early Sufis were known to wear simple, coarse woolen garments, symbolizing their ascetic lifestyle and detachment from worldly pleasures. These early Sufis, like Rabia al-Basri, 717 to 801, spoke of love, renunciation, and a direct personal relationship with God. Sufism underwent significant development during the 9th to 12th centuries. During this time, figures like Junaid al-Baghdadi, 835 to 910, played a crucial role in shaping Sufi thought. Junaid introduced the concepts of annihilation, or fana, in God, and subsistence, or baka. These two concepts, fana and baka, remain to this day central in Sufi thought. It was also during this period that Sufi orders, or tariqas, were first formed. Tariqas were organized groups who followed specific Sufi spiritual masters. These tariqas played a vital role in spreading Sufism. The 12th and 13th centuries are often referred to as the Golden Age of Sufism. During this time, Persian mystic poets such as Rumi, 1207 to 1273, and Attar, 1145 to 1221, made an indelible mark on Sufi literature. Ibn Arabi, 1165 to 1240, is not only an influential figure of this era, but perhaps one of the most important thinkers in the history of Sufism. He is often referred to as the greatest master in Sufi tradition. Ibn Arabi's spiritual awakening occurred during a Hajj pilgrimage to Mecca in his early 20s, marking the beginning of his Sufi path. He became a prolific writer, with his most famous work, Fusus al-Hikam, exploring the concept of the unity of being. This idea, that all existence is a manifestation of the divine, has left a lasting impact on Sufi thought and Islamic philosophy. Ibn Arabi was also known as the poet of ideas. Ibn Arabi's approach asserts the integration of reason and revelation, uniting the intellectual and spiritual aspects of human existence. His writings continue to be studied and revered globally, fostering deep contemplation and exploration of the unity underlying the diversity of the world. Today, Sufism continues to offer a message of unity, tolerance, inner peace, and above all, love. This message has now reached a worldwide audience in different cultures and spiritual traditions through the immense global popularity of Sufism's poetry and music. The Sufi mystical poetry of, particularly, Rumi and Hafiz has experienced a remarkable surge in popularity in the West over recent decades. Both poets, renowned for their mystically profound verses, have found a dedicated readership among Western audiences, transcending cultural and linguistic boundaries. Coleman Barks, in particular, has played a pivotal role in introducing Rumi to Western readers with his best-selling translations. His interpretations of Rumi's poetry, characterized by their accessibility and spiritual depth, have resonated with large audiences. Barks' translations of Rumi's works, such as The Essential Rumi, have become bestsellers, contributing significantly to the widespread appreciation of Rumi's wisdom and spiritual insights in the West. This surge in popularity reflects a deep yearning for the universal themes of love, spirituality, and inner transformation that Rumi and Hafiz's poetry beautifully articulates. In the contemporary West, the most popular form of Sufi music is often associated with Qawwali. Qawwali is a traditional form of Sufi devotional music that originates from the Indian subcontinent and is widely practiced in both South Asia and among Sufi communities in the West. One of the most well-known Qawwali ensembles is the Sabri Brothers, who gained international recognition and popularity for their soul-stirring performances. The Sabri Brothers' music has been embraced by Western audiences and played a significant role in introducing Sufi music to the West. Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan, another legendary Qawwali artist, also achieved global fame for his mesmerizing performances. His collaboration with Western musicians, including Peter Gabriel, contributed to the dissemination of Sufi music in the West. The importance of love in Sufism, with its profound themes of divine longing and spiritual union, is intricately interwoven with Sufi poetry and music. Sufi poets and musicians have used the medium of poetry and music to express the intense yearning for the divine, embodying the very essence of love. What is love? It seems a simple question, and one that should be easy to answer. Many people might answer that question by saying that love is a feeling of immense attraction to a person, or a place, or even an object. Others might answer that love is not just a feeling, but more importantly an action. The existentialist French philosopher Jean-Paul Sartre thought that love was most definitely not a feeling, but a conscious act of one's will. Thus, according to Sartre, one chooses to love. Plato said at the merest touch of love, everyone becomes a poet. The Taoists say that if you love someone, you will gain great strength, and if someone loves you, you will have great courage. There is an African proverb that says, "Where there is love, there can be no darkness." Jesus Christ taught that we must love our enemies. The Buddha suggested that we radiate love to the whole world, both to humans and non-humans. Native Americans believed that love is so powerful that you leave its imprint behind you after death. Sufism offers a profound and deeply spiritual perspective on the question, what is love? In Sufism, love transcends the mere human realm. It is a spiritual force, a transformative power, and the very essence of the mystical path. While they emerge from distinctly different traditions, the Hindu practice of bhakti and Sufism share similarities in that they focus on love and devotion as means of attaining union with the divine. Bhakti, a devotional movement within Hinduism, encourages an intense and emotional love for a personal deity. Sufism, likewise, stresses the significance of divine love. Both Bhakti and Sufism strongly highlight the universality of love as a transcendent force in one's spiritual development. The divine love at the heart of Sufism is expressed through two primary Arabic terms, ishq and muhabba. Ishq represents an intense, burning love for the divine, a love that consumes the heart and soul of the seeker. It is an irresistible attraction, an all-encompassing longing for union with God. Muhabba, on the other hand, denotes a profound and affectionate love, often associated with God's boundless love for His creation and the reciprocal love of the seeker for the divine. It's the love that flows from the divine to the seeker, the compassionate and nurturing aspects of divine love. Muhabba also expresses the idea that divine love is a transformative force. In Sufi thought, this love is central to the mystic's quest for union with God. It embodies the connection and affectionate bond that unites the lover and the beloved in the sacred realm of the heart. In Christianity, we find similar concepts regarding love in agape and eros. Prior to their use in Christian theology, the words eros and agape originated in ancient Greek philosophy as a way of identifying different aspects of love. Eros is very similar to the Sufi concept ishq, with both eros and ishq representing an intense, fiery, and all-consuming love, whereas agape is similar to the Sufi concept muhabba. These two terms point to a more gentle but passionate and romantic love, often associated with desire and physical attraction. Agape is used extensively in the New Testament of the Bible, where it signifies God's boundless love for humanity and the love that individuals should have for one another. In Sufism, love is intimately tied to the concepts of self-annihilation, known as fana, and divine union, or wusul. The Sufi lover seeks to annihilate the self, or sense of separate self, in the fire of divine love. Our sense of separate self, with its attachments and worldly desires, is seen as a veil that separates the lover from the beloved, that is, God. Through intense love, the Sufi aspires to dissolve this veil, to lose the feeling of separate self. This annihilation of our feeling of being a separate self is a profoundly transformative process. Finally, freed of the sense of separate self, the Sufi experiences the intoxicating, overwhelming presence of God. Love, in Sufism, is the cosmic and only power in the universe that can achieve this. Sufism's deep reverence for the power of love is captured by the Sufi poet Rumi's beautiful words. Let yourself be silently drawn by the strange pull of what you really love. It will not lead you astray. Put simply, love in Sufi tradition is the guiding star that both incinerates one's false sense of separate self and infuses one in God. Love is a purifying fire, burning away the impurities of the heart and leaving behind only the essence of divine love. It is for this reason that a Sufi endeavors to nurture a heart filled with love, compassion, and kindness. For the Sufi, love is not a mere theoretical concept, but a lived experience that shapes all of the Sufi's actions and interactions with others. This path of love is not a one-time event, but a continuous, lifelong journey. Sufism also points to the universality of love, which transcends the boundaries of religion and culture. Sufism's mystical poets have long celebrated love as a universal language of the heart, a force that can unite humanity. Hafiz, 1315 to 1390, a revered Sufi poet, wrote the verse, Even after all this time, the sun never says to the earth, "You owe me." Look what happens with a love like that. It lights the whole sky. These words are at the heart of Sufism. They reveal that true love knows no bounds, is selfless, and transcends the limitations of cultural and religious differences. For Sufis, love, in its purest form, becomes a unifying force that bridges the gaps between individuals, irrespective of their individual beliefs or cultural backgrounds. This means that the Sufi journey is not exclusively reserved for those within the Islamic tradition, but is a path open to all who seek to explore the depths of the human spirit and the boundless love that unites us all. This universality of love in Sufism is clear in the poetry of Rumi. Rumi's poetry speaks of a love so profound and all-encompassing that it transcends language and religious affiliations. His verses communicate the transformative power of love and the innate desire within every human being to experience it. In his poetry, the human heart is often compared to a vessel, yearning to be filled with divine love. Sufism teaches that, regardless of the path one follows, love remains the common thread that weaves through all spiritual traditions. The universality of love in Sufism also highlights the idea of selfless love, where one loves without expecting anything in return. Love, in its purest form, is not a transaction, but a selfless act that radiates outward, lighting up the lives of others. Love is at the very heart of what it is to be a Sufi. Find a quiet and comfortable place to sit or lie down. Gently close your eyes and take a few deep breaths, inhaling deeply through your nose and exhaling slowly through your mouth. With each breath, release any tension or stress, allowing yourself to become fully present in this moment. Draw your inspiration from the words of Rumi, who beautifully explores the transformative power of love in his poetry. Imagine, as Rumi says, your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and release all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. Visualize all the barriers to love crumbling before a radiant light that shines from the center of your chest, the source of your love. With each breath, see this light growing brighter and expanding with each inhale, filling your entire being with love and radiating outward. As you reflect on Rumi's words about love's transformative nature, remember his insight that the wound is the place where the light enters you. Imagine the love within you touching every corner of your being, mending any brokenness, and illuminating the hidden chambers of your heart. With each breath, let this love heal and transform you. Now, contemplate Rumi's notion of boundless love that transcends time and space. Visualize this expansive love, connecting you to all living beings and the universe itself. Feel a sense of unity and oneness with the world around you, knowing that love is the thread that weaves us all together. As you conclude this meditation, remember Rumi's message that love is the bridge between you and everything. Carry within you the awareness of love's transformative and unifying power, embracing the challenges and joys of life with an open heart and allowing love to guide your way. And as Rumi eloquently reminds us, let the beauty of what you love be what you do.
Japita tvameva bandhuscha sakha